There'll be times where we shut the lights down, we just have the emergency lights on so we can show a video. We ask that you act with maturity when we do that. Let us play the videos. Okay, we don't need to go in and off when we turn the lights out, please. And just be attentive and be very respectful. It's my honor to introduce Reverend Sam Childers.
How y'all doing? I'm Sam Childers. I got the nickname, I don't know if you've seen my truck outside, but on the side of the truck, my nickname, okay, is the Machine Gun Preacher. And I know a lot of people, they start laughing when they see that, but how many of you get on the internet in here? Almost everybody? Cool, cool. When you go home tonight, Google the Machine Gun Preacher. And you'll see that I wasn't always a preacher. I lived a pretty wild life, but I'm hoping today to share enough with you that I might be able to change the path that maybe some of you are on, or maybe some of you are headed for. And if there's one thing I like to speak a lot about is drugs and alcohol. A lot of you may have already experimented with drugs and alcohol, and maybe some of you are around it, I'm not sure. But I want to tell you something right now. Drugs and alcohol will do nothing but mess up your life. And I'm someone that lived that life. And see, when I start talking to you, I can tell you about celebrities. How many knows Jesse James? Jesse James from West Coast Chopper is a very good friend of mine. I was at his house last week in LA. And if Jesse was here right now, Jesse would tell you that drugs messed up his life also. But one of the reasons why I want to share this with you is I know what I have accomplished the last few years by staying away from it. So when I look at that and then I look at you, I can see what you can accomplish if you completely keep it out of your life. And see, the other thing is, you know, there's a lot of people that can go around and talks about drugs and alcohol, but there's not very many like me. I was a drug addict, I was a drug dealer, and the worst thing of all, I lost my son to heroin. You know, what happens is, a lot of times we use drugs and alcohol because we think it's cool. It's not cool. There's nothing cool about it. There's nothing cool about getting a phone call 3 o'clock in the morning that you just lost your son to heroin. And see, here's the thing. Everybody thinks that, well, I'm just going to do a little bit. And a little bit is what killed my son. You never know when it could happen. I want to show you a video here. Maybe we can watch this real quick. And after each video, I'm going to give you an opportunity. You can ask me anything you want to ask me. I don't care what it is. You can ask me. Just make sure I'm allowed to answer it, though, because I am in a public school. But I think it's about 2 minutes long. Let's go ahead and watch it. in the mornings I would get up and I would actually couldn't start my day unless I put a needle in my arm. So I had some pretty rough years, but I mean, God kept me alive all those years, but it was all for a purpose. That would also say the same things that I have said, that they mess their life up with drugs and alcohol. But what's so really cool is I can stand here today and say there's people like Jesse James from West Coast Choppers. There's all kinds of one percenters from many different motorcycle groups that would stand here today and say that drugs and alcohol is no good and it can mess up your life. In a twinkling of an eye, in a twinkling of an eye, you can end your life from drugs. You know, so the best thing to say right now is no, I don't need that. You know, everybody out there, there's many different things that we can substitute drugs and alcohol for. And there's many different ways to get us delivered from drugs and alcohol. Now, in my life, I had to choose God. Now, I don't know what will work for you, but God worked for me. And all I can say to you today is just say no. All right, I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask a few questions, but I think we got some extra mics ready. Is there another mic? Somebody turn the lights on. Is there some other mics here? Listen, if anybody has a question, I want you to feel free to ask. One thing I want to let you know, I still ride motorcycles. If you Google my name, you'll see that I ride. If you Google my name, it'll say I'm a Hell's Angel, which I'm not a Hell's Angel. I used to be a drug dealer, and I was a hired gun for the Hell's Angels. I was a hired gun for the Outlaws. I worked for most of your one percenter groups. I'm actually right now national chaplain in my area for the Outlaws. I still ride with the Hells Angels, I ride with the Banditos, I ride with just about every one percenter group that's out there. And see, here's why I like to talk to people about drugs, is because a lot of these people right now today, the ones that are into drugs and have addictions, they don't want that addiction. They want to be delivered from it. But it's something that when you get into, I mean, it's easy to get addicted and it's hard to get out. The sad part is all the friends that I've literally had to bury over the years. I mean, it can happen that quick. Somebody have any question? Come on, put your hand up if you got a question. Mike's over here. Come on, you got to run a little bit.
Yes.
It's all right. I get stage fright myself. I'm looking at all you kids here. Go ahead.
Not necessarily stage fright, just I'm trying to think. All right. What would you say is the first day you finally woke up and said, you know, this is probably something I shouldn't be doing anymore. Like, I need to quit, and I need to quit before this ruins my life for good.
You know, it was a long, long time ago, but it was after I almost OD'd myself. And I knew I had a choice that either drugs was going to kill me or somebody else was going to kill me. And I mean